Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap on the Boomer Bust channel, Bears podcast by Bears fan. I'm your host Terry, and today I'm talking about the case for Marcus Davenport, the pass rusher out of University of Texas, San Antonio. Alright, so as this goes, we're going to look at the landscape for the Bears at that position, and right now, that landscape is pretty dry. So we talk about not having receivers. We also don't have any outside linebackers for our 3-4 or rush backers, whatever you want to call them. We just got Leonard Floyd, it looks like. Now, again, I do my little bit of research with the free agency stuff because I don't follow it. So I might be wrong, but from what I'm looking at, all we got is Leonard Floyd. Pernell McPhee was let go because of the money. Willie Young was also let go. Lamar was only here on short term, and Sam Acho is also a free agent, unrestricted. So pretty much all our outside backers are on the market. Now that doesn't mean we can't bring back McPhee at a lower price. I know they really love his leadership, and he can produce. He just isn't the most healthy, and also he was getting too much money. We could also bring back Willie Young at a cheaper price, who actually was productive and pretty much healthy. He's older, but still, he can play. And I love Sam Acho, so possibly bring him back too. So it's not like we can't bring these players back, but as it currently sits, we just have Leonard Floyd, I believe, left on the roster, who is coming off season-ending injury, by the way. And so when we talk about the landscape, we're most definitely going to have to sign bodies for that position. And there's no shortage of 3-4 outside linebackers out there. So, much like we've had all these bodies in the past, we'll get some more bodies in there. But talking about bringing Marcus Davenport in, you have to bring him in as an instant starter, I believe, because with Leonard Floyd hopefully coming back to form, even with the guys you bring in as rotational guys, because you do want that rotation, Marcus Davenport is somebody that's going to have to step in and get his feet put to the fire, because we do lack premium talent at that position. And as of right now, I believe anybody we bring in is going to not only just be depth, but they won't be of the starting caliber. So I think bringing Davenport in at 8 will put him at a starter position opposite of Leonard Floyd. So let's talk about the cases for and against, and it's pretty stacked up. So the cases for Marcus Davenport, number one, he's the best not the best pass rusher, but he's one of the top pass rushers in the draft. And also to that point, this isn't a very deep pass rush class. So I did my video if you want to look at the pass rushers and the edge guys, DNs, whatever. But as most of you that follow the draft know, this isn't a great class for that. Now, Bradley Chubb, who is probably the best, maybe not suited for outside linebacker, but it's still the best overall edge prospect, is probably not going to be within our range at 8. And so then next up, Marcus Davenport is the next best. So we're not getting the top guy, but you're getting a top 15 type player. And so with that being said, a lot of people will feel that this is something we need because there's not going to be a lot of options in the later rounds. So bringing in those guys would just kind of be bringing in another body and not really a starting level type talent that could blossom into a star. The other case, for Marcus Davenport, as I said, not just the lack of bodies, but the lack of pass rush we've had overall. Now, again, we were top 15 type team, defensive overall, but definitely in the run, top 10. And so we know our run game is strong, and most of the front is coming back. We do got to get the outside guys, but most of the front is coming back. And so we know the run game is good, but what we've lacked is pass rush. Even with Leonard Floyd kind of getting better from year 1 to year 2, he's still not that type guy. And we know he needs help on that front. And so Marcus Davenport definitely has the skill that we lack the most on the defense. Even with our secondary being so-so, we still, I think, are better at covering than we are at rushing the passer. I think most people would agree with that. And so it just helps you be more flexible where you don't have to blitz as much. You can keep guys in coverage when you got guys that can rush the passer. So not only, again, because of the bodies we lack, but because that's always been a sore spot for our defense. This will I'll lead this as a two-faced one. On the positive side and the negative side, Marcus Davenport is a project with a high ceiling. So some people will say, yes, we get Fangio who can groom him and really teach him and unlock all of his tools, and that even though he's really good, we only scratch the surface. Then on the negative side against Davenport, people will say we need a guy that's a little more immediate impact. Switching from a stand-up DN or regular even front DN to an outside linebacker is not going to be easy. And so we want to get somebody that's a little more ready to play now, and getting Davenport and throwing him into the role is not ideal because he has a lot to learn. So some people will look at it as a case for him. Some people will look at it as a case against him. So then the other cases against why not pick Marcus Davenport, besides the fact that he is a little raw for the position, is that that we have so many other needs. And so that's the case with a lot of other people. They think we got needs other places, but I think not only other needs, but people really want to see something on the offense. And I've said this with a couple of the guys. They want to see people that give a little more support to Trubisky. And so Marcus Davenport doesn't directly affect Trubisky, so some people might be against that at the number 8 pick. Other people might say that he isn't worth a top 8 pick. Now, again, that's always subjective. I'm not here to give my criticism on that. That's just something that will be against Davenport. People will say, well, we should trade back, or we could probably get him later, because we don't know that, even though he's a pass rusher, we don't know that he's not a top guy like a Chubb, and he's more boom or bust. So I don't want to risk our top premium pick on that. So that's what some people will say against him. And yeah, so those are pretty much the main cases I would say for drafting Davenport and for not drafting Davenport. But I want to hear what you guys think. Go to the comment section. Let me know what you think about picking him at number 8. Thumbs up, subscribe, share it around, and remember, stay up and bear down.